Good morning everybody and welcome back to another video. Hello everybody here in Auckland, New Zealand, from Auckland, New Zealand I should say, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate the feedback, the support, everything. It is awesome. Thank you so much for the comments, just everything, for the love, everything on my channel. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. So I've got a really cool video I'd like to really talk, in this video I really want to talk about 10 things you may or may not know about me. And I'll go through them and explain them quite as clear as I can. I've made a bit of a list here, but this is a bit of a history, just a few trivia facts about me growing up. Things including, let's just get into the list, eh? Let's just get into the list. I used to play guitar and piano, and I actually played private piano, or keyboard as used. I actually played a keyboard, but I used to play keyboard and piano growing up when I was about 13, 14 years old. I lost that ability, but I managed to learn to read music a little bit, but I lost a lot of that, and I also played the guitar. I still have my guitar, and I still have a keyboard. I don't have my old keyboard, but I got a new keyboard now. But I sometimes play from time to time, but I'm definitely not a professional. I just play around with it now, but I lost a lot of that, sadly. My first name is actually Sasha. Alexander is my middle name. My name was changed to Sasha Alexander Gilbert on the 1st of August 1994, and before that I was Gizvikoskoy Alexander Viktorovich, something like that, similar. My birth mother named me that on my birth certificate, but legally now my first name is Sasha. So I don't get called Sasha by anybody. Only a few people, like my family in Russia, call me Sasha. My mum and dad sometimes call me Sasha. I was called Sasha until I was about 14 years old, and then I was preferred to be called Alex from then on. But again, Sasha and Alexander are the same name. There's just an alternative version of it, so it's pretty much Sasha or Alex, you know. You can call me whatever you want. One of those names are fine, but everything that's like written down on paper is Sasha Alexander Gilbert. So, but everyone calls me Alex, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. In 2002, when I was 10 years old, I was actually injured in a golf accident. I was standing behind hit me like that. Scars down here, so that's what that scar is. I got 14 stitches in there when I was 10. It knocked me out pretty much. It was a terrible experience. I remember it very clearly. It was a long hospital stay, things like that, but these things happen. It was very close to my eye actually. I would be blind in one eye, you know. It was very close to that. I did a paper run when I was 13. I saved up for my first camera, and I eventually bought it in 2005. The paper run was technically my first job, but not big professional career job. I'm not going to do a paper run until I'm old and retired. But I got my first camera when I was 13, and in 2005, and I did a lot of, you know, home videos, a lot of family videos. I did all the filming myself. I wish I had a YouTube channel back then. I look back and I remember YouTube just came out at the end of 2005, and I saw it and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But my internet back then, my family internet, could not actually upload any files. It was incredibly slow, and it was such an early stage of everything, and that was the early days of YouTube. It was early days, and I really wish I grew a channel and grew it, but you know, again, I'll be too embarrassed to look back at those videos. I've got them on tapes everywhere, and I will put some up on YouTube sometime, old high school videos. It's just embarrassing, but I started to film stuff. We all have beginnings, of course. I've always had a passion for cameras and photography, all of that. I've always been interested in it, hence why I make videos every week, because I love it, I enjoy it. So half of my family is actually from the South Island of New Zealand. This is my mum and dad. My mum's side is from the South Island of New Zealand, right down the bottom near Invercargill and around Queenstown area, and my dad's side is from up Northland of New Zealand, Whangarei further up. My dad was actually born in Kaitaia, and my mum was actually born down by Invercargill. So, and they actually met in London in the late 80s. So it makes it a really small world. It's pretty incredible, that story itself. It's another whole story, it's another whole book. I got my first car in 2002 when I was 19 years old. It was actually a Mazda 6. I got it for a good price actually back then. I don't have it anymore. I've changed a few cars over the years, but I enjoy cars. I love my cars, so I like to drive and I like all of that. So yeah, I don't have the Mazda anymore, but that was my first car. I had that car for about 4 years. I pretty much drew it. I drove it like crazy, drew it. Sorry, I'm still waking up. A lot of you might know this from the books. but I do have a Russian passport as well as a New Zealand passport. Now, I wasn't able to go into Russia on a New Zealand passport because I was born in Russia. A lot of people have asked me who have never met me, always say, why do you have a Russian passport? It's weird. So I have to explain it to them, and people just get a little bit questionable about why do you have two passports? Well, obviously I was adopted, so that's kind of the explanation. I came here when I was 2 years old, of course, and I am technically still a Russian citizen. I am still registered as a Russian citizen in Russia, but I am also a New Zealand citizen. Countries I've traveled to, mostly for work. I've been to, for family, I've been to Australia and Fiji. But for work-wise, I've been to America, South Korea, the UK. No, that was a holiday. The UK was a holiday. Australia. Sorry, that wasn't for work. That was for family. Sorry. Italy, Austria. I went to film over there. I went to Ireland, obviously, recently, and also went last year as well. Hawaii, and of course, Russia, of course. But end of the day, I love coming back home to New Zealand. It's my country. It's where I'm from. My real job I got was in 2012. I hope you're counting this up because this is exactly 10 things, I hope. Yeah, it is. My first real job I got was in 2012, working in television. I was actually paid to hold some cables for a television show. At the end of 2011, I was actually paid by food vouchers. I did anything I could to get my foot in the door into the industry. So I remember I was 19 years old and I was trying to get myself in there, get myself out there and show people that I can do it. But I eventually got my first job in 2012, full-time. Actually, no, it was part-time first, and then it was full-time. So I worked in television I started doing volunteer work in television back in 2008 when I was 16, something like that, very young. This used to be in my local town. I used to go and help out and do everything at the end of school every day and just keep on helping. But I wanted to go into the real world and go into the big city and do it professionally as well. So that was my determination. I also studied film and television in 2011, and I got a diploma in camera work, lighting and audio. So I did that as well. So I actually studied for 1 year, and studying actually gets your foot in the door a lot better once you get something behind you with the experience of TV. So that's number 9. And number 10, I've written 2 books. First one was My Russian Side, and second one was my autobiography called I'm Adopted. Now, I'll probably have to update that autobiography in another 5-10 years, but I love writing my life story, getting things out there, and just leaving a piece of history behind. Well, when I get older and everyone moves on, it's all going to be left here. Well, not everything, nothing stays here forever, but for my children, things like that, for my family's family, all of that, I just want to leave all that behind and leave a mark and try and help out as much as I can. So that's pretty much my background and my story, and I hope it's not too long for you guys, but I thank you guys so much for listening. This is probably going to be a long video this time because I'm going to put heaps of, I'm planning my edit right now, sorry. This is going to be a nice video for you guys to watch, just a little bit of a background about me and 10 things you may or may not know about me. So I thank you guys so much, and until next time, до свидания и спасибо большое, пока-пока. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's going to be 2011 very soon. Well, not right now, but for next year. And I'm heading down to Auckland, as you may know or may not know. But yeah, it should be all good. Cool phone, eh? Check that phone out right there. Awesome. I'm just kidding, he's got an iPhone. We're here today for a movie review with Luke. Hey Luke, what movie are you going to talk about with us today?
In California.
And what did you think of it when you first saw it? The movie out of 5?
I'd give it 5 stars. I mean, it's definitely my type of film.
Definitely. So you'd recommend it to everyone out there?
Not everyone. I'd recommend that everyone watch it just to see what those sort of films are like, but it's not for everyone. It's very different.
Okay. Thank you very much, Luke.
You're welcome.
And we're back with Matt and Maddie.
Thanks, lovely Alex.